10 years ago, Natalie Cole stood ready to take her place among the royalty of American rhythm and blues singers. The daughter of jazz great Nat King Cole had it all: talent, looks, and an inside track to the music business. But it's been said that even royalty has its drawbacks, and Natalie Cole can certainly testify to that. Her father died when she was just 15. When her own singing career began, she thought she could never live up to his reputation. And she nearly destroyed herself trying. Like her father, Natalie Cole is more relaxed on stage, even if it's just rehearsal. It's here where she gives her all, carrying on the Cole legacy. A Bruce Springsteen song, Pink Cadillac, fueled her return to the pop charts. Ironically, because of her father's great talent and popularity, she almost passed up a singing career.
The whole attitude in my family was what my dad did was very special, and I never even considered stepping into his shoes. It would not have been appropriate, it would not have been proper for me to try to carry on that kind of a legacy.
Yet it is her family who in many ways has helped her. Cousin Eddie leads her band. 1, 2, 3. On the road in London, Cole was joined by her son Robbie, who sometimes sits in on drums, and her mother. Maria Cole once sang with Duke Ellington. Even so, she tried desperately to steer her daughter away from show business.
No, I didn't want her to go into it. But I think most people, most show people who have come up as my husband did, don't want their children in show business because they're afraid they won't become successful. And Matt and I used to talk about that. We were afraid that they'd go into this and hear this monumental figure, their father, and to follow that would have been very, as you have seen with a lot of children, it's very difficult.
When I fall in love, it will be forever.
Or I'll never fall in love. In a restless world like this is,
love is ended before it's begun, yeah. And too many moonlight kisses.
One of her most recent successes, When I Fall in Love, became one of the top songs of 1988, but it's been popular before.
When I give my heart, it will be completely.
Nat King Cole was a jazz pianist who rose from playing the honky-tonks to international recording stardom. He was the first black American with his own television show. It failed when advertisers pulled out, saying that a black man just couldn't sell cosmetics. But he and the Cole family were still enough of a draw to be featured in 1957 on Edward R. Murrow's Person to Person.
Good evening, Mrs. Cole.
Good evening, Mr. Cole.
Evening, Nat.
Hi, Ed.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Is that a late release you're checking there?
Well, it's pretty late. It's a new album called Love is the Thing.
Nat King Cole sold over 50 million records before he died in 1965.
It's a big percentage of luck that goes with this business. Being in the right place at the right time and having the right something to offer, too. I mean, I put them all together.
Well, that's the same in the news business. You just have to be in the right place at the right time.
That's right.
Natalie grew up the daughter of a millionaire at a time when poverty and segregation for blacks was the norm.
Here's our youngest daughter. This is Sweetie.
Her father called her Sweetie.
Sweetie?
Yeah?
How many of those pups would you like to keep?
All.
All of them?
Yes.
You think you'll be allowed to keep them all?
Well, I don't know.
It was the perfect family, and what a role model for all of America. Edward R. Murrow was coming to your home.
Yeah. That's probably why the Cosby Show was such a hit too, because we were very much like that family. We were.
Ours was sort of I hate to use the adjective, really sort of a confused household some of the time, because I traveled with him and 85% of the time, and it was difficult for those children, for my older children.
At home, was he Nat Cole, the performer, or was he dead?
He was definitely dead. And that's why the memories of him are so nice. They're so gentle. Because for the time that he did have and spend with us, he was a father.
She had sort of, I have always felt, a special worship for him that was over here, you know. But I think it was really for his talent. And I don't think she really got to know anything but his talent. He loved her, and she loved him. Nat loved all his children, but Nat didn't really get much of a chance to be a daddy.
Even so, Nat King Cole was the anchor of the family, and when he died of lung cancer at age 45, he left behind a daughter who didn't deal with his death until years later.
Her father's death changed this family an awful lot. It sort of, well, it was like this, and it just sort of did this, you know, tore us apart. Something I have chosen not to think too much about because there's nothing I could do about it.
Once my father died, my mother stressed education, education, education. It was about getting our various degrees in college and picking something suitable.
What would you have wanted her to be?
I wanted her to be a doctor.
I had done everything but applied to grad school at USC when all of a sudden I had this singing career. And it took off so quickly. And it was the old classic line of an agent approaching me when I was still at UMass in college. I think I can make you a star. How'd you like to be a star?
Natalie Cole.
She won 3 Grammys on her first 2 albums, but under the facade was a young woman in turmoil.
I always wondered for a long time after that, did I get that really on my own merit? And when you start questioning yourself, okay, you're in trouble.
I can't stand up here too long. I might start testifying. I just want to thank my producers and...
Characterize her at that time when she first started in show business. What kind of person was she?
Headstrong, defiant, talented, even then, not really sure of herself, but good at what she was doing. Confused, very insecure.
Was the pressure great because, you know, she's the king's daughter. She's got to be good.
Yeah, absolutely.
She better be good.
Absolutely. That's more or less what it was. You better be good. At the time, because I was a commodity, people were depending on me to produce, and to be whatever it was that they were expecting me to be.
Your grace is all he'd say.
By 1981, her promising career had skidded on a trail of mediocre albums. Trying to shore herself up, Cole landed instead in the lap of drug and alcohol abuse. Were drugs escaping this, or were they?
No, they weren't escaping. They were helping me deal. They were coping. They were my assistants. They were my right arm, my girl Friday. You know, I got to the point where I couldn't do it without them.
In retrospect, what's the one thing you most regret?
Probably the breakup of my marriage. That really hurt. And I think about that. That if I had been in a different place, that wouldn't have happened.
If you'd have been straight.
Mm-hmm. And then the relationship with my son would be better, and, you know, because he'd have a father, and, you know, it's a cycle. And I think I'd say that was the beginning of the end for me right then and there.
Were you angry then at Nat King Cole?
I don't know. I hate to think that I was, but I probably was. I certainly was angry at myself, you know, for being who I was, and I also was missing him. And, you know, that why couldn't it be that he could be here to help me through some of this garbage?
Straighten up and fly right. Straighten up and stay right.
For most of her career, Natalie Cole had lived in the shadow of the king. 5 years ago, in a drug rehabilitation center, she started dealing with that and her fractured relationship with her mother. That had to be for you as a mother, but also seeing her as a performer, professionally, personally, had to be the toughest for you.
It was very tough, very tough. I'd write her long letters, and it just slowly came together. But it was a very difficult time. I couldn't go down to the place to see her. I just felt I had to see her like I'd known her. And it worked.
If there was ever a chance that the moon would never shine again, if there was even the slightest doubt that tomorrow the sun would somehow not come out,
It's a clear-eyed, born-again performer that audiences see these days.
it wouldn't matter to me because I love you.
Her own failures make her worry about her son, who has aspirations of being the next generation in the performing Cole family.
I'm not too thrilled about the idea of my son going into the business. I'm really not. You know. But I guess I think he could handle it, but that's not the point. You want your kid to do well in anything that they choose to do. And you just want them to be ready for the disappointments, you know, and the serious failures that can happen when they choose a certain type of career. And this is that type of a career. Every day I'm wondering how he sees me. How does he really see me? You know, am I his mom or am I Natalie Cole to him? And sometimes I'm both.
Just like your father was to you?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I come home and I'll tell him what I went through that day or what I went through over the weekend, and he just shakes his head and he goes, boy, that's really something. You know, he'll take my hand, shake his head, give me a pat. Well, Mom, it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Stroke that artist. Make her sing. Whip that.
No. Think of living on the street, no money.
Wow. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. That'll make it. You ain't singing, sing.
All right, no thinking, let's move. It's your song.
Natalie Cole is now rebuilding her career song by song.
Even though it's been so long, my love for you keeps going strong. I remember the things that we used to do. A kiss in the rain till the sun shines through. I try to deny it, but I'm still in love with you.
You can listen to it 55,000 times and you're still not sure if you like it. There's no audience. There's no stimulus. You have to create it yourself. Not only that, but there are other people telling you what to do.
No matter what.
Then we should be here.
Producer Michael Masser has been a hit maker for the likes of Whitney Houston and Diana Ross. He only works on a couple of songs a year, and he chose Natalie Cole to sing one of them. Miss You Like Crazy is her new single.
No matter what I say or do, there's just no getting over you, and I miss you.
The hardest thing to do when you're successful is to be consistent. You know, can you do it again? Can you top yourself? And anybody out there knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it's a bitch. It's very, very difficult.
You think we're going to have a hit with this, Natalie?
Jesus Christ, if we don't, I'm going to kill you. It's just a constant battle between what I want to do, what people expect of me, would my father like it, will my family be proud, will my record company make money, will I make money? There's, you know, endless questions that you have to ask yourself. And it just keeps coming back to the same thing. Do I feel good about this?
I can see the love shining in your eyes, and it comes as such
I see now an older, but a younger Natalie. By that I mean she might be older chronologically, but she's acting a lot like the kid I knew before her father died, 13 or 14, which I like.
She's back.
Yeah, she's back.